to start today by asking you a question. If you saw somebody go into cardiac arrest, would you know what to do? Would you want to help and not know what to do? What if it was a family member? So just some statistics from the American Heart Association. In 2016, 359,000 people went into cardiac arrest. Of the 359,000 people, there was only a 12% survival rate overall. However, when bystanders performed CPR, that survival rate increased to 46%. So you can definitely make a difference by jumping in there and doing some bystander CPR. By survivor, we mean discharged from the hospital, not stuck on life support or in rehab for an indefinite amount of time. So just a little bit about myself. My name is Michael Lynch. I am with the Sarasota County Fire Department in Florida. I just had my 10-year anniversary. And besides being a firefighter, I am also a state-certified paramedic and a charge medic for the department. A paramedic is about 1,000 hours more training than an EMT. Paramedics administer drugs, can start IVs, interpret EKGs, and some other advanced procedures. With the fire department, I was also a field training officer. So I was responsible for training Technical Institute students in their paramedic program. I was also responsible for signing off our employees to be charge medics. While I was at FTO, I was also a CPR instructor and a ACLS instructor, which is Advanced Cardiac Life Support, which is basically CPR with drugs. So just a couple of things I want to touch on today. I just want to explain real quick the difference between a heart attack and a cardiac arrest, because they're not the same thing, but the words get used interchangeably. Tell you how effective CPR is, and then some other things that you can do to help people, family members, strangers, by taking a full CPR class, not just a hands-only CPR. So like I just mentioned, people are much more likely to survive if somebody does something. But just to mention, like I mentioned, when someone's having a heart attack, that means that their heart is undergoing some kind of problem. Usually a clogged artery is causing the heart to not get enough oxygen. A cardiac arrest is when the heart stops. Cardiac is the heart, arrest means stop, that means you're dead. So if you're worried about hurting them, they're dead. Once your heart stops, you're dead. And they're going to stay dead unless you do something. So you jump in, you do some CPR, the first compression is a little disturbing, there's a little crunch right here when you break this cartilage. You're not breaking bones or ribs. So all you can do is help. 70% of cardiac arrests occur in the home. So if you live away from a metropolitan area, it might take 6-7 minutes for an ambulance to get there on a good day. If you live out in the boonies, who knows? Every minute that somebody goes without CPR, their chance of survival goes down by 10%. So after about 10 minutes, even if you do get pulses back, they're probably going to have a brain injury. So what can you do? Well, you can learn CPR. There's now a thing called hands-only CPR. You can go to cpr.heart.org, and there is a 60-second video on how to do it. It's 2 steps. Call 911, push hard and push fast. And that is it. Many people, they found, were put off by doing mouth-to-mouth. But there's enough oxygen in the blood to keep your brain perfused and keep your heart perfused without doing mouth-to-mouth. Also, if you think about it, when we take a breath, our diaphragm goes down, it changes the pressure inside our chest, and we inhale. Well, when you're compressing the chest, you're still moving a little bit of air in and out. So that's one option right there. This hands-only CPR is becoming so popular that they're starting to put kiosks in some major airports. Right now there's 5 of them. And it's a 5-minute class with a video and an actual little hands-on mannequin. And it says a 5-minute layover could save a life. So your other option is you can go take a full CPR class. And a full CPR class will teach you the breathing part of it too, but it'll also explain to you that if you don't have some kind of mask or any type of equipment, that just good CPR is the most important thing. Also, by taking a full CPR class, they'll teach you how to use an AED, which is an external automatic defibrillator. And if you witness someone going to cardiac arrest, shocking them as soon as possible is the best thing for them. So I'll tell you a quick story. We got dispatched to a chest pain call one day, and it was an 80-year-old lady, and she was kind of ornery. She wasn't too happy. This chest pain was bothering her. And while I was talking to her, her eyes rolled back in her head, and she had no pulse. So we start CPR real quick while we're getting the patches on her from the AED. It says shock advised. We shocked her one time. We started doing CPR again, and 45 seconds into our first round of CPR, she said, "Ow, what are you doing? That hurts." So because we saw it and shocked her so quickly, the heart just started back again immediately. What the AED actually does is your heart's in a very chaotic state, and it's a reset. It resets it. It stops your heart, and then it restarts in an organized rhythm. So this woman was discharged from the hospital. So one of the best feelings ever, besides a little pin I got over here, was the fact that she came to the award ceremony with her son and grandkids, and they all shook our hands. So if you need a reason to do it, there it is right there. She wrote us a big long letter about how she was able to spend one last Christmas with her husband before he died. And if you need any more reason, if you have a pool, if you have kids, just think about your loved ones, and there's all the reason in the world to take CPR. So what you can do, like I said, you can go to cpr.heart.org, and there's a video right there on how to do it, and you can stop right there. You can go find a kiosk and actually practice it, or you can go find a free CPR class at your local fire department or municipality. So just to recap, quite a few people die every year of cardiac arrest, but by jumping in and doing CPR, you can really make a difference on their survivability. We talked about how a heart attack is different from a cardiac arrest. If someone is in cardiac arrest and they don't have a pulse, they're dead. And if nobody does something, they're going to stay dead. So don't worry about hurting them. And lastly, there's plenty of places where you can go find a free class and get involved. So there's talk now about having CPR as part of the high school curriculum, mandatory. So I'd like to thank you very much for your time. Any questions? Thank you.